program.
Hey, family, I have Russell Andrews on today. We are looking at the best of the best. Russell Andrews, actor, director, producer, author, and the founding member of Stage Walkers Production, has publicly shared he was diagnosed with ALS in 2025. In partnership with the ALS Network, Andrews and his family are sharing their journey to help connect individuals and families to critical resources while encouraging broader public engagement and support for the ALS community. You will know him from a few of them, Straight Out of Compton and Insecure. Hello, my friend. How you doing?
I'm well, thank you. Thank you, Doc.
I appreciate the opportunity for you coming on under the ALS Awareness Month so we can talk about it. I don't think a lot of people know what it is.
Um, it's a degenerative nerve disease.
Yes.
And at base, Cam, what it does, your nerves start to deteriorate and they stop communicating with your muscles. And ultimately, your muscles stop functioning. To make it more, bring it to the micro, um, it starts in, mine is starting like all of us, at the base of the brain where the stem of our nerves are. Mine is beginning with my speech, the muscles in and around the throat, which has slowed my speech. I guess that may help some because, you know, I tend to talk fast sometimes, or I did. Uh, but it works its way down, and ultimately, um, it will visit my lungs and then my heart, and then we'll play the music. So that's how it affect. That's how it's affecting me. Um, but because obviously our nerves travel all over our body, my hands, I wear these braces on my fingers. It affects people differently. Some people, their legs, their arms, which I have issues with that. Some things that are actually very common within the disease. Um, and I'm what's called sporadic,
Hmm.
meaning that it's not genetic. I didn't get it from my parents. And as it stands, thank God my children will not be affected. I I got hit by lightning.
Hmm.
That's
Hmm.
the best that I can say. And during the final test, I mean, we've had three opinions
Right.
or determinations from the same place at Cedars Sinai, which, well, I cannot tell you. I
Is the
cannot
best.
tell you because I don't have the vocabulary to speak
Hmm.
about what they do, but know that they are at the absolute top at what they
Yes.
do.
Yes, they
and
are.
I'm happy to be there. Doctor Badi, who's my neurologist, we were at bedside at the final nerve test. I think it was the EMG.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and after that, the last needle came out, and she said, "Well, Russell, it's what we think it is.
Mm-hmm.
After everything, it's consistent." And she says that it is ALS. And
Yeah.
again, not knowing a lot, I'd been warned to stay off the internet because so many people have opinions and cures, and they all mean well, but it can be overwhelming
Yes.
in the beginning. So I didn't know much. And so I asked the question that I now say I mistakenly asked because I wasn't ready for the answer. Um, but when are we ever ready? So I asked, well, what am I looking at? Is
Mm-hmm.
it 5 months? Is it 5 years? And she said, we don't know.
Right.
And she could have said a week would have probably settled a little better than I don't know.
Right.
But she said, I don't, yeah, right? She said, I don't know. It could be 5 years, it could be 5 months, it could be 10 months. We just don't know enough about it. But she went into the research and how close they were with the studies and the prescription she thought I should begin, and immediately the conversation came up about the ALS network.
Mm-hmm.
And when I tell you holding our hand, our being my family and I, um, every step of the way through this, it hasn't made it easier, but it starts to make sense um, about what people do that we don't know about
Mm-hmm.
that prolongs our lives and
Right.
helps the greater good and community and what have you. And because this disease will not get better, I will
Right.
not get better.
Yeah.
And but they are so close, man. Based on the information that I've been given, I've been having to do a crash course and studying the
Mm-hmm.
advocacy part, which is where I am, the role of the ambassador that I am now, but also some of the research. And again, I won't attempt to go into that part because, again, I don't have the vocabulary. I'm
Mm-hmm.
doing a crash course in it, but I do know and I do see that they are so close that there was an article in the New York Times last week that actually gave me a little hope until I read the entire article. It helps other people in within this group,
Mm-hmm.
ALS people living with ALS, but it's coming,
Mm-hmm.
and it just kind of bolsters the whole thing about advocacy and speaking with you, um, and letting our community know what's happening. So with all that, brother, yeah, I've been diagnosed. I'm sorry for that diatribe.
No,
I've
that's
been
fine.
diagnosed. It is overwhelming to a
Mm-hmm.
degree, but somehow in the big picture, man, it makes sense
Right.
because I've volunteered all my life,
Mm-hmm.
all my life, volunteered, and I brought my kids up in that world also, and I've always asked, besides the sandwiches, which are great, the blankets, which are great,
Mm-hmm.
even the kind word, which is great. I do it organized and sometimes just out the back of the car. But the, it, man, I've always asked. There has to be more, right?
I'm glad you
And
said that. Yeah,
uh,
I'm glad you said that because you
it
posted
has
something.
shown up.
Yeah, because you posted something recently. I want to read that you posted. Give yourself a little rest there. Read that.
Wow. Okay.
A beautiful thing you posted. You said, "What can I say?" You know, for years, my family and I have volunteered for any and everything. That work is so
Mm.
demanding, but I always wondered if there was more to do. As fate would have it, more has shown itself in a truly humbling package. It's going to be a long walk, but with the genuine and direct support of your ALS network, we're prepared, and I'm okay. In the big picture, the ALS network and their many affiliates are close to a cure, really close, but more
Mm.
is needed. Your support may not be in time for me, but if you're able, it would mean the world to the many people and families living with ALS. Stay up, Russell. A beautiful thing that you posted. I'm telling you. And let's
Thank you,
talk about
brother.
that.
I'm walking with you.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm so glad that
Yeah, that
we're talking about this month, you know? We're talking about it in this month
hmm
because this is the awareness month of it.
yeah, we tend to, and I grew up in the church.
Mhm,
Man, I got older and traveled some more and got a little more educated and thought I had understanding of what our creator was doing and started to kind of carve my own path. And
mhm,
somehow it always comes back to our human existence, of
mhm,
which I find people of faith.
mhm,
I What happens in situations like this, um, we tend to, and this is Russell's science, we tend to go inward. We go to our village, our churches, our families, as it were, and that's good. We should always, in times of joy and pain. But right here is a little different. Like with all other diseases that visit us, that we as humans are not deserving of. It's just not fair. But we need to speak about it publicly and
mhm,
know about the awareness, the advocacy, the outlets. The ALS network, their primary agenda is care for people living with ALS. They try to provide everyone within their reach um, um, care via social workers,
mhm,
uh, medical care. There are times, many times, they've gone into homes to help restructure for the ability for wheelchairs and
mhm,
things of that nature, with the ramps, widening doors. They do so much, and
mhm,
they are associated with other people in the outreach in the network. It is for outreach and research, and uh, I bring them up for the reason that yes, I am part of that organization, but what I learned from them is sometimes all we need is information.
mhm, mhm,
Sometimes, knowledge is power. The cliche, um, being what it is, and to know that there are people out there working on our behalf that we've yet to meet.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yes, the more is not just me getting more to do, but now having more reach, more access, and more
Yes.
people behind me to help my my personal approach to giving and serving.
Yes.
And so, yeah, man, you can say be careful what you ask for, but bro, trust me, I'm proud. I'm stumbling in my whole spirit, my confidence, and I would be lying if I didn't say why. I
Mm-hmm.
would be lying if I didn't say that I am angry. I
Mm-hmm.
am, but not at anyone or
Mm-hmm.
anything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what's that thing you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. So I've hit a roadblock, but
Yeah.
it's gonna be all right. It's
Well,
gonna be okay.
you have one of the best caretakers I understand by your side. So you're gonna be okay, Miss Harris, because she's there with
Man,
you. So
man, man. I listen. I have had a full life,
yes.
inclusive of um, having been married. I was married for 19 years.
Mm-hmm.
And from that, we have two. I mean, everyone thinks their children are great and intelligent, blah blah. But I have the prize. I
Yes.
have the prize.
Yes, you do.
If I've done nothing else, I've done that. I say that to say that Erica brought faith back into my home,
Good. Mm-hmm.
and by virtue of that, um, embraced my children. We all know how those stories go. They can be a positive, they can be challenging,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
or positively challenging. You know, it can be all that. And
Mm-hmm.
in the time that we've known each other, we both travel a lot. For work,
Mm-hmm.
and there was a time. There was a time that Erica was gone more than she was here. And, we were wondering how things would go.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and, but this thing, I keep calling it thing, I won't say it is the reason that we found time to have that common ground and that conversation about a
Mm-hmm.
life together moving forward. Um, but what it did, it put to me in perspective of not what you want for the rest of your life as much as what you need for the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm.
And um, with respect to all of the all of the movement, all of the lights that come with this. And I'm doing okay in my career. I have friends that are in the Uber space of entertainment, but it, there are moments right here when we tend to get a little full of ourselves. We want to hear the applause. We want to read our press and the red carpets, and from time to time, a black card. We enjoy that.
Mm-hmm.
But what was interesting about her is the fact that she lived that life as well, and
Mm-hmm.
actually probably more than me in some aspects because I'd been a theater guy for so many years. But when we were able to strip away all of that,
Mm-hmm.
able to, you know, move all of that inside, and when she, I won't say stepped up, but when she stood in front of me and and said to me the things that she said in terms of what she wanted,
Mm-hmm.
what her life goes. We all want, success, but I found myself looking at myself
Mm-hmm.
and I said, oh, wow,
Yeah.
okay, that's
Mm-hmm.
crazy. And I've been around the world to come home. I say that because she's from Dallas, 150 miles north of where I grew up in the country.
Huntsville.
And again, I've been around the world, and to find um, that uh, what's natural, what
Mm-hmm.
makes sense,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a hard thing to ask someone to share a life with you that has, for what it's worth, that is on the clock.
Mm-hmm.
And I am that's real,
Mm-hmm.
but there was no hesitation, and no one is surprised that she said that.
Right.
um
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and we had that difficult conversation
Mm-hmm.
about, I understand and utmost respect if this is, you see this as a difficult task.
Mm-hmm.
I do, and if at some point, and I would respect whatever decision, and it has never come up again.
Well, I tell you, after listening to her, after hearing her trust and believe, that's not even a factor. That's no factor for her.
Mm-mm,
She was very clear,
mm-mm.
even in her conversation, in
Very.
different other interviews and everything. She is by your side for the rest of your life and hers too. So she is right
Mm,
there. Trust
mm.
and believe. I heard it in her voice. I saw it in her mannerism, and I saw it in the depth because you can see the windows of the soul is through the eyes, and through her eyes, I can tell you she's there.
Yes, sir.
She's
and
there.
and has been,
Yeah.
and so supportive of my life with my children, and
Mm.
anyone who knows me know that um they are my breath, my inhale, my exhale, my
Yeah.
kids, and they have embraced her, and she's embraced them, and it's difficult, you know,
Hmm.
um, to do, but the encouragement has been um, to always be in communication with their mom and aware no one's here to take anyone else's place.
Right.
Let's just kind of hold hands right now and see and take this walk together. It is going to be a long walk.
Right.
Um, it's going to be a long one.
Hmm.
For some people, Cam, this disease moves fast.
Uh-huh.
Um, the one of the primary, if not ambassador for ALS Network was Eric Dan. Everyone knows him, of course. Um, Great star, very humble man. It moved kind of fast for him. He made um, his diagnosis known publicly. He had been around for a couple of years, but he left us within a year of his announcement
Hmm.
because the lifespan, if you will, the average time with this is about 5 years, five
Hmm.
and a half. I am on a drug called Radicava. Radicava, along with some other things, helps to extend the life of a person living with ALS by up to 33%.
Mm-hmm.
I have, and I now see what's going on. I have, it it appears that I may have, signs may have been showing as far back as 21.
Mm-hmm.
But I had no idea, of course. In some of the interviews I've done, I hadn't worked in a couple of years because of COVID. We couldn't work, at least
Right.
our job, because
Right.
we interface with each other. And so my insurance was gone. I had no idea what was happening with me. Um, After COVID and then the back-to-back strikes, things kind of started working their way back. I got a couple of gigs back to back, and got back into the world of SAG insurance, and
Mm-hmm.
immediately went to the doctor over at Cedars, and I, within 15 minutes, was referred to a neurologist. They push it through because appointments are months out now.
Yes, they are. Yeah.
Um, right, and I was able to get in the system
Mm-hmm.
and start getting the treatment, but the determination based on what info I'd given them and what signs I had seen that I thought was a stroke or something, um, was back in, let's say, 21. So I'm not going to hold them to that 5.5 year thing, but if it was, if it was, if it was 21,
Uh-huh.
um, yeah, yeah,
You got
yeah,
time.
I'm on the clock. Man.
You
I
got
got time.
you got
Listen,
time. You got
I
time.
have a 20-year plan.
There you
I have
go.
a 20-year plan,
There
brother.
you
I'm
go.
gonna be here.
There you go. There you go. We thank you so much for the opportunity. What would you like to leave with viewers?
um, Man, that's a whole another show. Obviously, I talk a lot. I think the most part though, man, is um trust
Yeah.
and listen
Mm-hmm.
and d- you know don't be afraid of of learning and sharing what's happening with you. Everything won't be this dramatic.
Mm-hmm.
Everything, you know, sometimes won't be worthy of discussion, but don't edit yourself and your emotions, because your voice can mean the world to someone. It can mean the world to someone. I I hope that this conversation and moving forward, I say something, anything that makes sense, because I was one, insurance or not, that didn't want to go to the doctor because I knew something, but I didn't know what.
Mm-hmm.
And in the last 48 hours, when this thing hit the press, I, I can't tell you, from Australia to Germany, UK, Canada, Alabama, Texas, California, Chicago. It's all coming in, and it's all saying what I just said. ultimately it's a thank you, but they have no idea the thank you comes from here.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
I have a platform, and I think I'd like to say my mama did a good job. She created a server. I am a servant, and if this is my voice, these are my efforts on the way out, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
Well, we sure appreciate you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you for advocating for all that you have done, everything you have done in this world. We truly appreciate you. Just know that. Thank you for the opportunity and thank you for everything you've been through, my friend.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that.
I appreciate you. Talk to you soon. Thank you, family. Bye.
Peace.
Peace.
Graham.
I'll call you back.